Hi, I'm Kip Walby, and thanks for joining me on another Mayor's Corner. It's my pleasure to have our new state senator, Pete Lucido, with me. And although you're our new state senator, you're not unfamiliar with St. Clair Shores. You're born and raised here, right,
Yeah,
Pete?
Kip. First of all, thanks for having me. I
My
appreciate being homegrown here in St. Clair Shores, and more importantly, being a part of the show today. Thank you for offering to have me in.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you. Again, Lakeland Street, right? A little over there?
Lakeland Street, St. Clair Shores, next to the Dairy Queen, all 8 Lucido children, and mom and dad make 10. Grew up there across the street from Lakeland Manor. And we're pretty happy and proud that we're St. Clair Shoreans, and I'll tell you why. Great place to grow up, great place to raise a family, and just a great place to live.
We lived in the heyday of St. Clair Shores when it was the big numbers were all around, kids everywhere.
Everybody knew St. Clair
Oh, yeah.
Shores, greatest high schools, and still are today.
Yep.
But you know what? Families change, areas change, things get old like anything else, and just need to fresh up once in a while and put a smile on people's faces.
So, Senator, tell us before we jump into the issues. Tell us a little bit about the committees that you're on and that you represent.
Yeah, so I leave the House of Representatives after 4 years. I get elected to the state Senate, thanks to the voters, and here I am now getting charged with certain duties and responsibilities. I'm the Senate Majority Whip. The Whip is the one that's third in command of the Senate. They take care of some decorum of the Senate and also the votes.
Okay.
It also is a chance for me to get to know the other colleagues from around the state because you're talking to them on a personal level. In addition, they put me on advice and consent, which means all the governor's appointments for the directorships, such as DNR, DEQ, Treasury, insurance.
Okay.
Our big department heads that are the directors, we get a chance to, with my committee as the chairman, to interview them, to see if they should have a unique sense of abilities to do the jobs that they're charged with, and more importantly, know that it's not a political appointment, but it's actually somebody who's going to benefit the state. They also put me on judiciary and public safety, which I'm very happy they did because that's something that's near and dear to my heart. Being a lawyer for over 30 years, being a big part of the criminal justice system, being a parole and a probation officer in my past life, being a lawyer for 30 years again, it's important for me to bring those skill sets to do the best job I can for the taxpayers. They also put me on a committee called JCAR. It's the Joint Committee on Administrative Rules, which are the rules for DEQ again, all DNR, all the rules that have to be followed by these administrations to make sure they're doing their jobs. And I'm vice chair of oversight, which is all the oversight of the state. And I'm also on elections. And I got to tell you, I'm busy, but I'm happy. It's important for me to stay busy because I got a lot of energy and I want to keep using that energy in a positive way to leave a good footprint in the state when I come back home.
Good. Yeah, it sounds like you're busy.
It's busy.
So let's start with maybe the big issue that is everything is fix the roads, right?
Right.
So what are we going to do?
So here's what happened. Over the last 2 terms when I was in the House, more money has been allocated to the roads. I remember Prop 1 came out. It was so convoluted, it was destroyable that I couldn't even explain. But I wasn't in there then. That's when I was running for election. But when I got there, I said, I didn't like Prop 1, so that's not good. But I listened to the constituents in the district, and at the time they said, Pete, don't raise my taxes. Find alternatives. So the Catastrophic Claims Fund, the MCCA, which we're going to talk about a little later, has over $20 billion, that's 20 with a B, $20 billion in
yes.
it. The interest alone is over $1.2 billion a year coming in. They only spend about $900 million. Why don't we just use the interest alone to get our roads in good shape because the policy is sound. The roads are which are causing the accidents to causing the catastrophic claims. There's enough money there just with the revenue of interest to fix the roads. I know it was the governor's initial and most important point in her campaign. We need to fix these roads.
Correct.
And I don't have a problem with it. I'll work, build bridges, walk across them, but the reality is, when it was the state of the state this last week, she didn't give a blueprint of exactly how we were going to get the money. Well, let's talk about where we got the money. In the last term, they voted on whether or not to raise the taxes on the gas 7.5% and 40% on the registration.
Okay, hold on. 7.5. That's what you pay on your gallon
Sales
of gas.
tax.
Okay.
7.5% more than we were paying. And 40% more on your registration. For those that are out there,
That's expensive.
it's too much. And the Lucidos, my wife and I, and my 3 kids, we have 5 cars. That's a lot of money. 40% more. And everybody says, Pete, why is it annually that we have to keep paying this registration fee? It's a tax, guys. And it's a tax that was supposed to, and it does, go to the road exclusively.
Exclusively. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, but I was a no on that also, and I'll tell you why. If you say no as a legislator, have a solution or an alternative to give to the public that says we can be a no here, but I have this solution or alternative, which is use the interest from the MCCA. That interest alone will take care of the roads, and then we'll get everything back together. You and I both talked off camera about the gas tax.
Right. I asked you, I wasn't aware till recently that the entire gas tax does not go all to the roads. And quite frankly, I tell this to residents around here, and they're stunned at that. And I will say it again to you, Senator, that's why I think people hate government.
I hate it too. And mind-boggling the fact that
Yes.
the legislators in the past rated the gas tax where it should have went for the roads. They give a third to education. They give a third to MDEQ, it's called, or the economic development, which means that it's for somebody's slush fund, and a third goes to the roads. At the end of the day, the roads aren't the winners, they're the losers because we're going backwards instead of forwards. So when my meeting was with the governor last 2 weeks ago before the State of the State, I asked her, why don't we recreate a new Public Act 51, because it hasn't been visited
Since 1951.
since 1951, 68 years ago, reallocate all gas tax, all registration to the roads exclusively, find a backfill on the education, because we're not going to give up on that, and get rid of this slush fund. We, as citizens, are letting money go into a slush fund that's being used for private enterprise. Let the private enterprise do what they need to do. Let's take care of our kids in school, and let's go forward with gas tax exclusively to the roads. Try some alternatives. To go back to the people and tax them again, I'm not doing it because I didn't do it the first time.
But Senator, do we have enough money? Is there really enough money out there to fix it? I mean, I think someone I read said we need $1.5 billion. I'm not sure that's right.
true.
But do we really have enough money?
No, and the reason why is because no one's ever got a breakdown like you do, an accounting sheet to say this. We have right now about $1.4 billion coming in on registration and gas tax a year. We have another amount of money. It's about a total of $5 billion between federal dollars, between the counties getting their money, the townships getting their money, but cities and villages are funded differently. And this is the problem. We should all take the registration fees in the county on which it is collected. The 3 major counties are Southeast Michigan: Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, in that order. That exclusive registration fee should go to the county where it's collected. The reason why is there'll be enough money within the county to fund the roads for the cities, townships, villages. And in addition, if the car is parked in that county, the insurance companies gave us a study already that says we drive 20 to 25 miles per day to go to our works. Therefore, those registration fees that are collected in that county, you're beating up the roads in that county. Those roads up north are beautifully paved. I want to let the public know that the statistic is this: 66% or 66 cents of every dollar is going outside of our own county where we register the road, where we register the vehicle, which means I give you $1, Kip.
Yep.
You go ahead, Mayor, and give away 66 cents and keep 34. How does this make any sense? Those roads up north are pristine because we're a donor county.
Yes.
And Mark Hackle and I, our executive, have both talked about this, and I said, you have to redo Public Act 51, and you have to keep the registration fees in the county.
And the last time, do you really have? Is there enough support for that? I mean, are there enough legislators? Because that's what you need. I mean, you need more votes yes on that than you do no. Do you have?
Here's what it is: Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb, Genesee, and Kent. There's enough votes right there. The problem is the chairmanships. Whoever the chairman is has exclusive authority to take the bill up or not, and that stinks in government. If you're a chairman and you're from the up north, would you ever take up that bill?
No.
Why not?
Well, it's going to be detrimental to me.
It's going to take away money, and if I can get money from Macomb County, I'm going to
Please do.
slap you on the back and say, thanks, pal. That's where our problem is. Those chairmen have exclusive jurisdiction to take a bill up. I assure you, if they were from Oakland and Wayne, those would come out of the floor and go down, and Genesee, Kent, Macomb, Wayne, and Oakland, those counties alone can pass that bill. We would redo Public Act 51. I submit that I told the governor in our meeting 2 weeks ago, how do you expect me to vote for any increase if I'm only going to keep 34 cents of every dollar? Governor, change 51 with me, work together, build those bridges, and I'm on board with you.
Good. Is she going to do it? Do you
I
think?
hope so.
Well, let's hope.
You know what? Let's get it. That a girl. Let's get it done.
Absolutely. We all want it. Doesn't matter.
I don't care if you're Republican,
I
Democrat.
don't either.
It has nothing to do with it.
It's about
we
fixing
all
it.
live in this state.
Absolutely. And the same issue on the next topic is car insurance. You got 5. I actually have 6 cars in there. It's ridiculous. And I got young kids, right, or somewhat young, right? And it's expensive. It's outrageous what I got to pay.
You know what? I look at what it costs to fix a car in Wisconsin or Ohio. It's the same amount of money. A windshield costs the same. The doors cost the same. The plastic around the moldings cost the same. So it's the labor cost. That's the same. It's the medical. We have an unlimited medical in this state, which is great if you're hurt and injured. But we got so many costs that are so outrageous. I don't care if they scrap the whole program and go back to the fault system, the tort system. I really don't.
I don't either, because many states have it already, Senator.
And you know what? We got to look at what it's going to cost on the backfill of Medicaid. Everybody out there wants to go back to tort, but after you've exhausted your medical insurance, we're going to go into Medicaid, and that means state dollars have to backfill. I think if we sat down and said this and get it done once and for all, either scrap the entire system and go with Wisconsin or Ohio, or in the alternative, have the medical providers and the insurance companies do what they do best. Don't even talk about the price. Show us how you got there. There's no transparency. It is the worst I've ever seen. When I said to the insurance commissioner, it's called DIFS up there, Department of Insurance and Financial Services. So they're taking care of the banks and the insurance industry, which are the largest cash cows in the state. That's where all the money's coming in. Why don't you have a hearing and ask them how they price insurance? Because I sure as hell don't know how they come up with those numbers. And the reason why I don't know is I know what I'm paying for my comprehensive. I know what I'm paying for my collision. The medical is the largest part of my policy, and the MCCA.
Right, which you can't get out of. You can't get out of the MCCA. You can't get out of the PIP. I mean, all that medical, you can't get away with that. You can go PLPD, but you're still stuck with these huge costs. And Senator, as you know, I'm not telling you you don't know. This is real. This is real money. I mean, the governor says we got to help pay for community college. Well, maybe cut the insurance. You can pay for the community college, and I'm not even kidding you.
What you're saying is true, and I told the governor this. There's 4 bills that I have in right now. Everybody can check it. It's Senate Bill 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's enforcement. We have a total of over 7 million vehicles registered in this state. Out of that, 1.4 million are not driving with car insurance. And you know what their issue is?
Yes.
They said we can't afford it, and maybe to the point they can't, but here's the reality. If they don't pay in, it makes us pay more. That's the way it is, spreading the risk among the many. The reality is, when they get pulled over, they get a ticket for no insurance on person. They've been expired for 6 to 8 months. They buy a 30-day tab, a 30-day policy to get a 1-year tab.
Yes.
I'm not asking them to enforce it by doing anything other than this. If everybody paid something in, it's going to reduce my premium and yours. I think enforcement's important. Fraud authority. Too many people are out there inflating bills, going to, unscrupulous lawyers, unscrupulous doctors, doing things that they shouldn't be doing. That's inflating all of our premiums. And at the end of the day, you know what? We need a fraud authority that's got some teeth, because you know what? They're just chewing around and not doing the job. That's part of DIFS, the Department of Insurance and Financial Services. The Secretary of State gave me the report to show me the 1.4 million people driving without car insurance, getting a 30-day tab, getting a 12-month license. Police can't enforce the law. Judges can't enforce the law. And at the end of the day, you got to enforce it. So here's what it is. Take the plate off the car. Let them keep their car. It's their property. That plate belongs to the state of Michigan. It's a privilege, not a right, to drive a vehicle. And then you got 6 months to come into the police department? No. You got 14 days to come in and pay for a prepaid 6-month non-cancelable policy. Why? That's the law. And our judges, both Frederick Conjley and Oster here in St. Clair Shores, will tell you we can't enforce the law. We will now. Lucido's bill says you buy 6 months and you get your plate back, and there's no fines, no cost. You're just doing your job to be a good steward of our insurance.
I think if we fixed it, that 1.4 million may come down quite a bit.
You're darn right. And here's how it's got to be. You need the vote. Everybody can vote for whatever they want to up there, including abolishing Michigan no-fault insurance and going back to tort. Now I can tell the governor, here is what Wisconsin's paying, here's what Ohio's paying, we should be paying the same thing. Bring the rates down.
It seems somewhat simple that we should be able to fix this, but
Talk to a legislator from up north. You know what they said?
No.
We will go with a dollar policy. We don't care. We can't afford it. Talk to a legislator that's on the Ohio border. You know what? They said the same thing. But you talk to legislators in Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, and some of them want full benefit. They want it because I would have to be broke after I get in a car accident. Mm-hmm. I would have to have no money before I can go on Medicaid. Because here's what happens. If I've worked all my life, like I have, and I'm going to be 60 years old, like I am going to be, at the end of the day, I don't want to lose all my assets, and here's why. Mm-hmm. I have to exhaust all my assets first before I go on Medicaid. So a lot of people are saying, give me the unlimited. I'm willing to pay for it. But at the same time, I'm going to offer the $250 and $500.
The options, that's
You've
right.
got it. It's called PIP choice.
Yes.
And I'm willing to go PIP choice on one condition. You leave full benefits available for those that want to select their doctors, mm-hmm. take the medications they want, and get the surgeries that they want, or the therapy and treatment. Otherwise, everybody out there, and I've got to serve both the old and the young,
sure.
the rich and the poor,
mm-hmm.
everybody out there wants the ability to take what it is that they need at the cost that they can afford.
And the last one on this, the MCCA, 2015, it was $150. Today, it's $192. I mean, it's
just
outrageous. It just keeps going. We hear there's never an accounting of exactly. I mean,
no transparency, none.
I mean,
here's
$20 billion fund with no transparency. That's
you know
sad.
what? When Governor Engler had to get reelected, I remember getting a check back for $185. Every one of you got that check.
I remember that.
You know what? We all remember it.
That.
And he said at the time, $5.4 billion in the fund. It's over bloated. They will never use this kind of money. And they gave me back a check. I was like, wow.
He had the authority to do it.
He did. And what happened was they made it a private fund instead of a public fund, but it's public dollars that are there. I want everybody to realize when it went to almost $200, Mayor, I was so upset. I went on Channel 2 and I said, it's a farce, it's a ripoff, it's outrageous. And everybody was listening saying, yeah, why is it that they don't understand how much is in there, where it's invested? Is it somebody's brother-in-law that's making $400 million? You got to remember, if you've got $20 billion plus and you're investing in even 2%, that's $400 million in investment income to somebody. Mm-hmm. This is wrong. I asked for a transparency bill. I got it. They didn't take it up in the insurance committee. I asked for it to be open and audited the right way, which is how long do you pay on the claims? How much are you getting your discounts for? They won't talk about it. Engler said at the time, our governor said, if we drop these bills, we're going back to making it public. I wish he would have done it then. Today, there's $20.2 or $22 billion, $22 billion with a B in that fund, and they said it's not enough. We're short $30 million. Who are they kidding? It's a farce and a ripoff.
I agree.
Thank you.
Another topic, right? Big is not only Lake St. Clair, but PFAS, right?
Big time.
We'll start with PFAS. I mean,
so here's what happened. We did a water town hall last year over at Harrison Township. Thanks for coming. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the support of your board here that we're coming out there. Lake St. Clair is our jewel. It's, and I call Candace Miller some days the godmother of the Great Lakes. And she laughs. But the reality is, we all have an obligation as stewards of this community, of this state, to go ahead and guard and stand on guard for our Great Lakes. I don't like the fact that people are dumping, including Oakland County, into our lakes, but there's a reality. It costs money to fix these problems.
Yes.
Recently, there was a $3 million appropriation that came from the state to put a basin here for the overflow. That's great. That is a temporary Band-Aid. Let's go to PFAS. This is the killer of killers. This is a foam that came out when they were doing testing on Selfridge Air Base. They sprayed the foam. They sprayed it, where it goes down the drains. It goes into the water. This is killing aquatic life. It's killing the very essence of what we do. We eat fish. It's taking problems to another level of trying to clean that water with the PFAS in it. And it's something over the entire state. What do? We need to have the federal government where these bases are come and help us, and they've stuck their head in the sand.
So, in essence, PFAS came from the bases around the country.
It did.
It did. So
it did. And the federal government's been...
So they ought to be ultimately responsible.
Mayor, they should need to step up their game and get in the game over here. Here's why. Who's ever on the Department of Natural Resources in Washington, D.C., where in the hell are you? Get your butt over here and the bases around this state. But the problem is there's bases all over the what? Country.
Yes.
And they've all used this as testing when a plane comes down to spray it on the fire to put it out.
Well, that's where it all came from.
What happened? And it's just not the fire. There's other chemicals, but PFAS is in over 900 of our products, so we can't ban it. We know now how to do a different solution to put the fire out without the toxic chemical of PFAS. It'll kill you if you drink too much. If it gets in our wells, be on guard, because if you don't have your well tested, you better do it now.
And we have got nothing. They've stuck their head in the sand.
It's wrong. And we can't do anything as a state. Number one, why are we cleaning up a federal base? You don't want your tax dollars going there, and I don't want mine. No. So let's get the feds involved and say, hey, what are you going to do about it? You guys put it there. Take care of your business.
I'll try a couple more quick topics.
Sure.
One that annoyed me, Nestle.
Ooh. I'm the one that found it. I looked at the permits. They pay $200 a year.
Let everyone know quickly as we...
I'm talking as fast as I can.
I know. You do a very good job,
I'm trying. So here's the deal. Nestle comes into our state. They're from the Swiss. They're not even from this state. And on top of it, they're poaching our water. That's the words I use.
I agree.
They're taking it and sucking it out in millions of gallons a year. They're even taking our water and putting it in these bottles, and we're buying it back at almost $1 a bottle.
Then we're polluting our landfills.
Hold on. With the plastic.
Okay.
Don't hold back, Mayor. Tell me exactly what you mean.
Yep.
And then they take it out of state, so it's not even. So I said, why are they only paying $200 for the permit? The governor set that permit fee, and I said, he's wrong. This is all wrong, because eventually you're destroying our aquatics and our aquifer. You are. Nobody's going to tell me when they dry out, now that land is gone, and it takes it out of our wells, which we need to take care of our crops, our cattle, and more importantly, ourselves. At the same time, when they ship it out of state, we're not even enjoying the water. And lastly, they were charging Flint when they had their water crisis. They spent $38 million with an M. Then all of a sudden, oh, we better give it for free. Somebody's calling us out. Why can't it be fair and pay a rate that's just and reasonable? Nestle's, I assure you, I don't drink your water, and nor do I intend to. And the mayor's right. Your bottles are killing our Great Lakes and our sewer systems.
I can't believe it even went on. I can't. It's so disgusting.
This is an outrage, and you know what? This is.
We could have put some tax there to help clean the waters up, clean the systems up, separate our systems that we needed.
Give me a little bit of that. Don't let me hanging.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
I mean, that's what should have happened.
It's a great idea.
But we got 2 minutes left. Again, tell us a little bit about the committees and how they get a hold of Senator Pete Lucido when they have issues.
Google my name. I'm sure you're going to have something come up, and if not, I can put a little number on the bottom of the screen here for you. But more importantly, why don't we do this? Give us a call on the Lansing number. It's a toll-free number. I'll be willing to speak if you need me to come down to City Hall and tell them what's going on. I'll give I guess it would be a legislative update if they need it every quarter. I'm accessible. I'm at the side, and I'm a steward of the community. And I love St. Clair Shores, Mayor. I love this town, and I want to be a part of it.
And the last thing, you're actually a little bit closer. We got a minute left. There's more Democrats than, it's a closer number. I mean, we got to all work together, right, to get stuff passed and get it done.
I've said it from day one when I went up there. It's like a boxing ring. They tell you outside the ring, your friends and everything. When you get inside the State House to vote, there's an aisle. The Democrats sit on one side, the Republican. Optically, it's wrong. Morally, it's wrong, and it doesn't do the greatest job for the state. We all have to work together, come with a solution, and compromise to get the stuff done for the taxpayer that's paying for it.
Absolutely. Again, glad to see you that you're now our state senator. I appreciate. We'll see you around, although we always see you anyways. You're always at the parade, which is a couple months away.
I love the St. Clair Shores Memorial Day Parade.
So thanks for coming by. Thanks for the show. We'll have you back because there's always a lot of good information, so we appreciate it.
Thanks, Mayor.
I'm Kip Walby. We'll see you around the town. Take care.
Dip 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 doody dow ba doopy doo ba da da dip 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 doody dow ba doopy doo ba da da dip 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 doody dow ba doopy doo ba da da dip 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 doody dow ba doopy doo ba da da dip 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 doody dow ba doopy doo ba da da dip 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 doody dow ba doopy doo ba da da dip 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 doody dow ba doopy doo ba da da.
Hi, I'm Blair Gilbert, owner and president of Gilbert's Pro Hardware here in the south end of St. Clair Shores. We're on the east side of Harper, right in between 8 and 9 Mile Road. We're old school hardware. We rekey locks, we rebuild faucets. We're very strong in plumbing. I would like to invite everyone to come down to Gilbert's Pro Hardware, see what service really is all about, get some home repair advice, get some service, get some quality parts, and take advantage of what little jewel you have in the south end of St. Clair Shores.
My name is Michelle Zatorsky. I am one of the owners here at Soulier Landscaping and Garden Center. It is a family-owned business. We do deliver everything that we carry. We have a full line of patio furniture. We sell nursery stock, trees, shrubs, perennials, annuals. We have bulk material that's held in the yard across the street that was our original location. I'd like you to invite you into the store. We'd love to help you plan and design your landscape projects. We'd love to see you and hope to see you soon.